Hey guys, and welcome back to Mad About Skin. Today I am super excited because I get to talk what might genuinely be my favourite ingredient in skincare, azelaic acid. I've now been using azelaic acid for the past 3 years, so I kind of wanted to do a check-in and share with you my before and after in terms of the results I've got for my own skin, some of the mistakes I've made along the way so that you guys can learn from them if you do want to incorporate azelaic acid into your own skincare routine. My philosophy is skincare is a marathon, not a sprint. You kind of invest for those long-term gains, which is why I like to do these periodic check-ins to share with you the updates I'm getting from various ingredients in my skincare routine and some of the pitfalls that might be preventing you getting maximum results. Today's the turn of azelaic acid, so sit back, relax, let's talk 3 years on azelaic acid. Now before we get into this video, just a quick reminder to do all that YouTubey stuff if you haven't already. If you love azelaic acid as much as I do, reach down and give this video a big thumbs up and a like. I want to get this message out there, and the more likes a video gets, the more widely YouTube distributes it on its platform, so it's just a wonderful way of helping me to achieve that. Also, the channel is growing and growing at the moment, and in the past week we've actually welcomed 1,800 new subscribers to our wonderful Mad About Skin family. So I wanted to take this moment to just say thank you and welcome to each and every one of you that might have discovered the content in the past week. If that's you, sound off in the comments section below, name, where in the world you are, and of course any skincare recommendations you have. I think I speak for everyone when I say welcome to our Mad About Skin family, and it's wonderful to have you as a core part of it. Now, when it comes to azelaic acid, I've got an awful lot to say, so I've left some timestamps in the description box below. We're going to start with my own azelaic acid experience, like the before and after, and then going to come on to the things that I would have done differently. We'll then move on to what the future holds, what I'm going to be doing when it comes to azelaic acid in my future skincare routines, and then of course ending on my favourite azelaic acid serums. If you're more interested in one section of the video over another, use those timestamps to navigate your way through. Honestly, I won't be offended if you decide to skip one part for another. It's all there for your convenience. Now, with all that being said, let's cut that waffle and just delve straight on in. Now, let's start with my own experience with azelaic acid. Like I say, it's been 3 years, and I know that's the case because actually my first azelaic acid was a prescription strength one, so I went back on my prescription log to see the exact date so I could upload this video on it. Now, I started with the 20% concentration of azelaic acid, which is the highest available, and this was in consultation with my dermatologist. I'd gone to say, honestly, my adult acne just seems to be out of control. I'm getting a lot of hyperpigmentation and acne scarring as a result of it, and it's really damaging my skin confidence. Dermatology said there's so many things that you could do, but actually one thing that I would like to try on you is azelaic acid. I'd never heard of this ingredient, but I thought, okay, look, I'm willing to give anything a try. I took the 20% concentration and was applying it morning and evening, and we said, let's give it 3 months and then we'll do a check-in at that point. After the first application, the stinging, the prickling, it felt like a million needles all jabbing into my skin. I thought, if it's going to be like this for the full 3 months, I might actually just check out now. Fortunately, that subsided, and I found that after the first week, my skin became a little bit more adjusted and tolerant to the azelaic acid, and those side effects diminished. By month 3, it was kind of like smooth sailing. I love the results that I was getting. It definitely helped to improve my adult acne. This isn't that surprising because azelaic acid, one of the key benefits is it reduces acne causing bacteria on the skin. I mean, it's great if, like me, you have persistent breakouts even into your 30s and 40s. It also started to eat away at that hyperpigmentation. I found that every blemish I got took just months to fade. With azelaic acid, they faded that a little bit quicker. They took less time to heal, and the hyperpigmentation was practically non-existent. It also got to work with the pre-existing hyperpigmentation, and I was feeling really good about this ingredient. Unfortunately, I just found that, the inconvenience of having to go back to the dermatologist every time I needed a prescription, the cost of those prescriptions kind of just made me shop around and think, can I get this ingredient over the counter? And I moved on to the ordinary azelaic acid 10%, which was getting a lot of viral attention at this point. Unfortunately, I think that was a bad move because this was a terrible product. It pilled, it peeled, it balled up. It was half the concentration I was on before, and so I didn't think I was getting the same benefits. So some of that might have just been in my mind, but I definitely didn't like the application of this product. Fortunately, a little bit shopping around later, I stumbled on this, which is the Face Theory Lumizalia serum. Back then it was called the AZLEAIC serum and is a 15% concentration of azelaic acid. This I found was like the sweet spot. It was halfway between that super high potency prescription only and the slightly lower concentration, the one from the ordinary, that I just didn't get on with. This glided onto the skin. It has some other calming and soothing ingredients in it, so I didn't get that prickling that I got with the Skinnerin, which was the prescription strength azelaic acid. And all told, I just bought this time and time again. I just loved the benefits I was getting from azelaic acid. Now, if I look to like 3 years later, I feel like I'm almost in maintenance mode now. I've got all the great results that I wanted from my azelaic acid. My skin and complexion is more even than it's ever been in like as long as I can remember. My acne is under control. I still get breakouts, but they're much less severe than they used to be, and they're much easier to contain when they do happen. I love the benefits for the calming and soothing that you get from azelaic acid. My skin feels a lot less redness prone than it used to, and I credit all of this down to the inclusion of azelaic acid. However, I no longer reach for those super high concentrations, and now reach for something between a 5 and a 10% concentration to kind of maintain the benefits that I've got. I think there's an azelaic acid out there for each and every one of you, but there's a few mistakes that I've made along the way that I want to share with you now. So if you are new to this ingredient or thinking about including it for the first time, you kind of go in there prepared and you don't make the same mistakes that I did. Let's start out with concentration. So concentration matters no matter what active ingredient you're reaching for, but I think it's really crucial when it comes to azelaic acid. And actually, you need to match the concentration you use to what you're actually seeking to treat with that azelaic acid in the first place. If you're using your azelaic acid to tackle breakouts and acne, you're probably going to want to go for a relatively high concentration, something in the region of that 20%, because that's what the studies have shown to be most effective when it comes to reducing the amount of acne causing bacteria. If you're using azelaic acid to, tackle stubborn hyperpigmentation or melasma, you'll want to go for something in the region of a 15% concentration. You need the strength to really get to grips with that excess pigment, but you maybe don't need to push it to 20%. If you're just using it for its therapeutic benefits, minimizing redness and irritation in the skin, having some marginal acne improving benefits too, and of course some great antioxidant benefits, then I say something in the region of a 5 to 10% concentration is all you need. I kind of wish I'd realized this earlier. I would have still started with that 20%, but I maybe would have come down to a lower concentration a lot sooner, and I could have minimized the amount of side effects and irritation that I was getting from the product. The second thing I wish I'd have known before I started my azelaic acid journey is you can keep it in the fridge, and by doing so, it actually minimizes that prickling that you can get when you first introduce azelaic acid. Like I said, it felt like a million needles prickling the skin. Not the most pleasant experience when you first introduce azelaic acid, but a dermatologist told me keep it in the fridge, and that actually just slows the absorption down a little bit, so you don't get that intense prickling when you first introduce an azelaic acid. I now do this as standard. I enjoy the calming and the cooling that you get from it, but also it minimizes any irritation that you might get from this really powerful active. The third thing I wish I'd known is that it's not going to cure everything just on its own. One of the great benefits of azelaic acid is it actually is super flexible. It's like the best friend to every other ingredient, and it pairs beautifully with all your other actives. So don't just rely on azelaic acid and use it in isolation. Combine it with other powerful skincare actives to get quicker and more effective results. Some of my favourite pairings are using azelaic acid and tranexamic acid together. These are both powerful pigment correcting ingredients. So if you're using azelaic acid to tackle melasma, hyperpigmentation and dark spots, use it alongside tranexamic acid. You won't get any excess irritation, but it'll definitely speed up the results, and I find when those results arrive, they're just going to be enhanced by using these two together. Also, why not combine your azelaic acid with a retinoid? Retinoids are fantastic for anti-aging, but they can be really difficult to tolerate in the skin. They could cause redness, peeling and irritation. Because azelaic acid calms and soothes the skin, if you introduce one 3 months before you introduce a retinoid, it'll just minimize the side effects you're going to get from it, and you'll get some added anti-aging benefit to boot. If you see what I'm saying here, I think azelaic acid pairs so well with just about every skincare ingredient. Don't rely on it on its own. Combine it to get those extra results. Finally, I want to say that formulation does really matter. When it comes to azelaic acids, you can either find them in gels or creams. Choose a formulation that matches your individual skin type to get the best results. I always went for creams, but actually I think if you're tackling acne, something in a more gel-based formulation is going to work better. If you have a drier skin type, then reach for something in a cream formulation, because azelaic acid can be a little bit drying on the skin. Make sure that you have your individual skin type at the forefront of your mind when you're choosing the right azelaic acid product for you, and that way I think it'll just help adjust your skin to adjust to this a little bit quicker, and you'll get fewer side effects. So if you're wondering what are my favorite azelaic acid containing serums, I've got a couple that I want to shout about today. If you're new to azelaic acid and you're a little bit worried about the side effects, the prickling and the irritation that you might get, then start super gentle with the Geek and Gorgeous Azelaic Acid. Such a wonderful product, because this is actually an azelaic acid derivative, which when you translate it to its pure form, it's about a 5% concentration. concentration. This is great for beginners, anyone with sensitive skin. You'll get some great benefits from calming and soothing, you get some antioxidant benefits too, and at the margins it will definitely improve the hyperpigmentation and dark spots that you might have. I think this will have limited benefit on acne in terms of controlling the acne causing bacteria, but for the other benefits I think this is a great introductory azelaic acid, and I've linked it in the description box below, as I will all the products mentioned today. If you want to kick it up a notch, you could actually use the product that I reach for day in day out, which is this. This is the Mad About Skin Got You Covered Super Serum. Of course, when I formulated this product, the first ingredient I wanted in here was azelaic acid. This actually comes in a 5% concentration. Why I think this is so good is it's harnessing the benefits of those pairings that I just discussed. You've got a 5% concentration of azelaic acid alongside 5% concentration of a vitamin C derivative. You've got some great antioxidants in here. You've got some calming and soothing botanicals, and you've got some panthenol to just remove any irritation. This will maximize the benefits of azelaic acid without needing to really push it beyond that 5% concentration. This is a product that I'm using for maintenance, but like I said, if you've got very stubborn and persistent melasma and hyperpigmentation, you might want to take it up a notch and go for a slightly higher concentration. The product that I would recommend, I did wave about earlier in the video, and it's this, the Face Theory Lumizalia Serum. You can buy this in the UK and Europe in a 15% concentration, though in the States it is restricted to a 10% concentration. So it depends where in the world you are as to what concentration of azelaic acid you're going to get in this product. If you can get your hands on the 15%, honestly, go for it. This will be fantastic at dealing with even the most stubborn hyperpigmentation and melasma. If you're restricted to the 10%, you'll still see some great results, but you might just have to be a little bit patient and see them in the long term. Whichever, this is a fantastic high potency azelaic acid, and is always the one that I recommend for those that want to dial it up a notch and go for the highest concentration possible. Those are my 3 favourite azelaic acids, but of course they're not the only ones on the market. There are so many others, so sound off in the comments section below with any of your personal favourites. I just wanted to sit down and film this video because I think it's really important that we do check-ins as content creators, so you don't just hear about us using a product, in the dim and distant past, but we actually talk about whether we still use it and the results that we've got from it. For me, azelaic acid has been game-changing, and I would recommend it for everyone's skincare routine. Just make sure you choose a product that matches your individual skin's type and with the outcomes that you want to get from it. Wherever you are in the world, guys, stay safe, stay well, and love your skin. Take care. Bye.